ready?
Ready.
Beth, you got your spectacles?
Oh man, I'm thinking it's so tiny on my phone. I don't even know if glasses would help.
All right. Well, welcome to the OFX podcast. I'm Dave Claxton. Along with me, as always, is the blind, bodacious beast of Blue Mountain, Bethany McChesney. We just added the
came
blind.
up with that.
Just came up with that right now. There it is. And the Mountain Man of Manitoba, Mik Gerylo, or Mik Gerylo, as Aaron Newell likes to call him. Big weekend. It's wait. This episode is brought to you by Duonamic, fine pull-up devices, and Designateddrinks.ca. And today's beverage is probably my favorite so far. Triple Bogey. Loving it.
I like the name.
It's good. It's kind of like
it's pretty much.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's pretty much what I shoot. So.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it just makes sense.
Have you ever done like bogey golf or even close?
Yeah, I can get away with that, but not like I'm good for a double bogey most of the time. Bogey or double bogey.
I play the entire thing, and it's not from Tin Cup, but I do play the entire thing with a 7-iron and a putter.
And you'd still probably get about the same score as me.
Well, it's because I can't hit anything else. Everything else just goes lost in the woods. Like I can smash a driver. I just don't know where it's going. Like the slice is comically bad. So I kind of know where it goes. It's like it goes way left and then way right. And it's just like watching a rainbow. The only problem is it's not consistent, or I would just aim way left, and it just sometimes then it goes away. I'm just bad. I'm just no good. That's it.
We'll stick to OCR.
Yeah, absolutely. And enough golf talk there. We're moving right along. This weekend's Blue Mountain, and the first thing I guess we got to go through is Mik. What's the deal, man? Where you at? What's going on?
What's the deal? Like, why am I not coming?
I bet
is that what you're asking?
I bet like $1,000 with a Vegas bookie that you'd come top 5, and now you're not coming. They're gonna take my thumbs.
Wow.
And then I won't be able to.
I hope you can still podcast. Yeah, that's gonna be really hard. Well, I mean, I feel like a lot of people want to have sent me messages and wondering like, are you going, and excited to see how I was going to do after whatever else. I just find there are a few factors, and what I hadn't really talked about leading into North American Championships and everything. I was just dealing with pretty bad tendonitis in like my patellar tendonitis, and I was kind of just grinding through workouts and long runs and stuff to kind of be able to compete at NORAM. So after that, had a trail race in Manitoba the next week, and I kind of decided after that just to kind of call it how it is. And school started for me, and cross country coaching started, so I was okay with calling it there. I was really happy with how the season kind of ended there. So on paper, like when you're mapping out your season and you're looking at, it's like Blue Mountain, Canada. I love that venue. Last time I was there was for OCR Worlds. And although it's a mountain race, it's not like an altitude race. And there's a lot of good like switchbacks trails and everything. And October's a nice time. Like I find that, your volume from the summer and everything, if you've kind of kept up with it, kind of brings you through to that. So I wasn't worried about racing a beast, but yeah. And then just seeing like everyone coming out, it almost seems like if you look at the lineup and everything, it's going to be championship vibes, so that's always nice to be there and see everyone and have the opportunity to like compete there. But knowing that I'm not at that point to compete right now, then that's a little easier to sit back and say, hey, I'll grab my popcorn and just watch and enjoy it. And yeah, looks like they're going back there next year too. So
do you know what makes it worse? So all week here, like so far this week, it's been crap. It's been like
weather,
really cold and like rainy. Yeah. Even our first little hint of snow and stuff like that.
Yeah, it snowed here yesterday.
Yeah,
we got that too in Winnipeg. Yeah. Winnipeg's dropping fast. Don't worry.
And then this weekend's supposed to be like a high of 20 and a low of 10 and sunny.
Wow.
At Blue. So I'm like, you got to be kidding. last year they got lucky. This year it seems like they're even getting luckier. I keep saying Spartan's ridiculous for holding this race at Blue Mountain in October, late October. Like, it's crazy.
You never know.
Hold it in September or something, or August, but they got lucky again.
Wow.
Yeah, well, it's not gonna be the same race without you. Like I said, I mean, that it would have been good to have you in there to see how it goes. I mean, you showed what you got at Kelowna. You had a hell of a race there, and then this would have been nice to see. But silly students and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's always like September is pretty crazy to fit in the amount of training you have to do to be competitive at, like, let's say Blue Mountain against those guys. So yeah, it's one of those things where as soon as I decided that it wasn't happening, it was like a total relief, and like mentally it was really nice. So yeah, but it's you don't want to waste an opportunity if you're feeling good about something. So
wanted to talk about first we'll go to the men's, about somebody else who isn't going to be there. And I, for one, am very surprised. VJ Jones will not be coming.
Really? Is that a new thing?
Well, I've checked the list from Spartan, and just to make sure, I checked the list from Jack Bauer, which is always far more reliable. And yeah, VJ's not going. So I did reach out to Jack and VJ, and I'm like, what's going on? Jack says that VJ, because it is a beast distance, and he really wants to focus on Worlds, which is a super, and get prepared for that. So he is taking a waiver on this one, which pretty much
pulls him out of like the option of winning the series.
Yeah, he was technically, and I'll see if I can get this back up again. We'll do a little screen share
of the points.
Yeah. So there's our women. We'll go back to the men for a minute. He was leading. Now, technically speaking, not by very much. So essentially it came down to who would have finished first, him or Ryan Atkins.
Right.
Would have took the series. So I mean, that's a good chunk of change he's leaving on the table. And in fairness, he might have been a bit of an underdog to beat Atkins at this. This is like Atkins' backyard. It's a beast. It's, so that does seem to play more into Atkins' hands. But VJ has proven lately that he can do these things, that it is possible. So I was very surprised.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, maybe just the last travel as well. Like some people, like as much as it seems like OCR Worlds wasn't long ago. So that's also just something to consider, like if people have just traveled for that. So
yeah, that's absolutely true. And we all know right now, like travel is so expensive. It's crazy.
Right. Right. You think Ryan Atkins is like hears about that and he's a little disappointed because he looks forward to like a good competition and kind of a side motivation, or you think he's relieved?
I don't know, Beth, what do you think? I got my thoughts on that.
Well, yeah, I think he probably would have wanted to win by winning the final race in the series and it coming down to him and VJ. VJ has proven that he can beat Ryan, so it wouldn't have been a runaway, I don't think. But yeah, I mean, it's always a little bit more satisfying, I think, when you don't blow it out of the water here. Like, there's no one else that can really, as long as he doesn't completely implode here, he's going to win the series. I don't even know if it's possible that someone else could overtake him in any situation. So yeah, I think I would probably think, just assuming the type of athlete he is, that he would probably have rather beat VJ in this race to win the series.
I think
I don't think it's one of those situations that if he does win, people are going to be like, well, VJ wasn't there. Like, it's definitely not that kind of situation. So it's just an interesting thought, and to see what he would think about that. But either way, I think he's going to have good competition. So it's not like it's not like he's missing that.
So
Mhm.
I look at it like this. It's got to be a bit of a mixed emotions, because obviously in his head, and Atkins is one of the few people who does this professionally. Okay, there's my money in the bank. Like I'm cashing that check, and that's great, and that's good to know. And on the bonus side for him too, this is still not going to be an easy race, because Ryland Shadag is coming, and he has been on absolute fire. So there'll be no walking away from Ryland, and if anything, Ryland he beat him at North American, and then at OCRWC, which was a completely new experience for Ryland. He was still dominant there, and actually came in on the 15K ahead of Ryan, and then was DQ'd.
Yeah.
So it's
And
not.
then you throw Tyler Veerman in there.
Yeah, and Tyler Veerman is slated to be coming. So I mean, who won the 15K, and again beating Atkins. It's going to be a hard race for him. So I don't think he's going to be lacking for competition. So maybe it's one of those deals, like I said, where he's like, okay, I've got my series money. That's great. Now I'm going to go out there and have a great race with these badasses and see where it comes. The other one that I think is listed right now is a maybe, or uncertain anyway, is Mark Batres, and sitting third in the series as well. So
Yeah.
like that, this is money to be given. And again, Hawk Call is a maybe as well. So all of these guys that are maybes that are sitting up there at the top of the series.
Really? So what changed? Because I thought, Hawk was kind of, he explained, once he had done well at a few of them, and people were saying, hey, are you going to come up? Here's what the prize money is and stuff like that. And he was like, yeah, I'm definitely going to do that. I'm also wondering, is Lars on the list?
Lars is on the list to be there.
Like, that's another person
Lars
that
Anderson.
just outrun a lot of people. So,
And he's primarily a trail runner, right?
yeah, but he's done enough Spartan races that he knows the drill, and he understands the obstacles enough.
Yeah.
He's had some really good kind of, which one was it, in Utah? I think he was kind of climbing and running with Josiah and Atkins kind of thing. And he's
right.
Yeah. I think he's been doing really well in whatever he does, but whenever he steps back into Spartan, he's always up there.
And keep in mind too, if the weather is true to what they're forecasting, not that Lars is bad at the obstacles, but everything being dry and, clear course, dry obstacles, that takes away some of the advantage that some of the experienced guys with the obstacles have. So that means somebody like Lars or another strong trail runner has a good chance to jump in. So I think it can be really competitive. I hope it is.
I think it will be, yeah.
Other ones that we have here that we're going to see, our boy Brendan Neely, he's going to be there. He could be a factor. Ryan Atkins, Riley Stig, Samuel Hubert, Sean Stevens Whale, and we know how Sean did out at Kelowna. So if he's in as good a shape as he was there, that will be great. He did very well at this last year. He came second place at this last year. Jesse Bruce as well. We've seen he's fit this year. I think those are some of the really good ones that I see. Logan Broadbent. Let's see.
Yeah, a lot of the characters are showing up.
Brent Trail. Really, though, like I said, I am interested to see, like we said, Atkins, Shadag, Tyler Veerman. That I think too, like Blue, from your experience. Okay, so from both your guys' experience, I only run the short races, so I don't know. But when you get in the long ones, is Blue, do they throw that much technical terrain at you, or is it really more up and down?
I mean, from what I can remember, it's a different type of technical. So it's grassy, which if you're used to bombing like dry stuff, that can be a difference maker. But at the same time, it depends how long the grass is, and it's fall. Like, you don't really know what's going to be laying on the on the surfaces. There's some good switchbacks because there's good mountain biking and everything. So there's some ramped switchbacks and everything like that. So depending if they bring people down or up those, that could change the game. But I'm thinking, well, it looks like it's quite a few kind of smaller climbs, but quite a few.
And I'm thinking this section here, this downhill here,
Yeah.
that could be quite technical because it's not down your standard ski runs like a lot of the other ones here. So this is all treed area and trail. I think that could be a technical, but a lot of the other ones are very much on the runs, on the ski runs. So I think, you know, that one will be harsh, but I think most part, I think it's going to be fast for downhill, a lot of the ski runs. And if I remember right, last year was a little more orientated for the ski runs. And it's,
Yeah. I didn't run it last year, but but I was there, and it was up and down and up and down, and like a lot. I think I remember though there was a lot more full all the way down, full all the way back up, like maybe 9 summits, and this one looks a fair bit less, and not going all the way up every time. So it might be a little bit less elevation than last year's course.
Yeah, at first I looked at it, I thought it was very similar, but then when the first section kind of is, but then when you get in that section, it definitely is a bit different. And a lot of open running, whereas a giant obstacle gauntlet at the end through through obstacle, let's say, I don't know, 12 and on. I'm sorry, not 12. Yeah, sorry, 21 and on is just all
at the end.
Together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, sometimes when it's at that point, the gaps have formed, and then it's just don't make a mistake. But I get why they're doing it. And if you look at the elevation profile, the course down is very steep down. Like some of the gradual ups are fine, but almost you go up and down. Like, let's say you summit the top of the mountain 5 times, basically, with some extra up and downs. But as soon as you go down, like, you're going straight down. Like, there's no kind of quad track or exit track, I think, where you can kind of open up. It's basically just if you can open up on that steep grassy terrain, pretty much.
So for the men, who does that favor? Who would a course like this favor? Does this favor Atkins because it is his backyard? Does it favor Shedag because he's so strong on his running? Veerman because he's in that 24-hour condition?
All of the above.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Way to play politics, Mik.
Yeah, exactly. Is Kempson coming to this as well?
Kempson is a maybe. I would say I've been speaking with him, and I'm going to say, let's say 70% that he would be there.
All right. Well, let's pretend he's there, because he's good at that grassy downhill kind of running as well. So, yeah, there's going to be, I think that's where the gaps are going to form. A lot of people can climb those small climbs. Like, I don't think the gaps are going to form that much on the first, let's say, 3 climbs, but it's going to start to gap based on who's able to really let go on those downhills.
And I think, honestly, looking at it right now, it makes me even more, I don't want to say scared, but worried about what Tyler Veerman can do, because it seems very similar in design to Stratton. And he showed that he tore off at Stratton. Yeah.
I think he's really good at downhills. I don't think people necessarily give him the credit for.
No, and he's not going to mess up an obstacle. Like, the guy is a former circus performer. Here's the thing and we said this about Sean earlier in the year, when he had his breakout at Kelowna. Is this finally Veerman's breakout he had at OCRWC, where now he is the podium threat at everything? Whereas before it was like, oh, Tyler Veerman's been there, he can be good, he can be off. Is he now broken that mold, and he's a constant threat now?
Definitely. I think even 2-3 years ago, if people were paying attention, you knew he was right there, always. I just think, getting those outright wins and stuff like that, makes people obviously pay attention to him. But I think if you look at his stats where he trains and certain stats up certain mountains, like compared to like some of the best athletes out that way, and then you look at some of his kind of top 3 performances at some of the national series, but maybe he didn't compete in all of them, kind of showed that he's been there for a while. I think a lot of the top guys would say that, but now he's maybe has a little more belief in like taking it past those top guys if he's feeling good.
Yeah. I was one of the ones who I would completely underestimate him for everything. And even going into OCRWC, I was like, well, I'm sure he's fit because he was training for Spartan Ultra Championships, but I still figured, top 5, maybe something like that. I did not think he was that big a threat, and wow, was he?
Yeah, pretty cool.
So straight up for the men, who do you guys think? Who's your pick just for a podium?
Top 3?
Yeah, top 3.
Let's let Beth go first.
Yeah.
Oh man. So just based on 3 weeks ago, I'm making this really easy on myself. So I'm going to say Tyler, Ryland, and Ryan Atkins.
Not bad. All right, Mik.
I am going to say Ryland, Ryan, and Lars.
Lars, look at that.
You guys are going to be texting me on Saturday. I'm telling you.
We'd be at the finish line going, Lars, Mik said it was you. It was all Mik.
He's like, who's Mik?
Mik Gerylo.
Yeah, exactly. I've never really met the guy, so but I like when he jumps into races. It's pretty cool. He's pretty cool. Like he has a pretty cool like where he's from, what races he's done, and yeah. I think when some people like him, he's not like loud on social media and stuff like that. So you never know. But if he's coming over here for a race, he's probably going to be ready to go.
All right. Well, I'm the only one who's going to have faith in the old warhorse. And I think Atkins wins in his backyard because he is so used to this place and knows it better. Surely because he knows it so well. That's what I think will be the defining factor. And then, wow. Then I'm going to go with Shedag because I think at OCRWC, he was very unfamiliar with the obstacles. Having seen him up close, there was a lot of thought, a lot of hesitation. It's not that he couldn't get through them. It's just that it took him extra time and effort compared to other people. Whereas his Spartan obstacles, he's very familiar and he's going to be done. So I'm going to go Shedag in second and Veerman in third, just because he is in wicked condition and ready to go. So that's it. I'll be right. To the ladies and a couple again. Christopher Glasky not going to be there. Is that right, Beth?
Right, not coming. Yeah.
And do we know why? She got scheduling conflict.
She didn't say. She could be. I don't know if maybe she's probably. I'm going to assume she's probably training for. What's
BCM?
it? No, what's the ruck one that's coming up?
Battle Bunker?
Yeah, isn't that next weekend?
I'm not sure if it's next weekend.
You know what? It's probably a race she has this weekend because Chris doesn't typically not race one weekend because of a race the following weekend. So she probably has something going on this weekend, I'm going to assume. But she didn't say. But yeah, she's not going to be there.
I think she's decided the beast is too long for her and she's not up for it. So she's going to take a waiver on it. She's going to be like BJ and she's going to say, no, I'm going to prepare for Worlds and do a big long training block and not race till then. That sounds like her. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah, that sounds the opposite.
maybe. Which I'm very disappointed though, because I would love to see Chris here, and she's just such a delightful person. she always races her heart out. It's good to see. Another literally we're going to call it race day start line decision, is Ariel Fitzgerald. Spoke with her today, and she's like, I just don't know. I will be there, and I will decide morning of. She's
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I think if you're an athlete and you're leaving it till morning of, you're going to race.
I think so too.
Like you're going to start.
And here's the thing, when you're Ariel and you start hearing things like, oh, Chris isn't going to be there. Okay. You know, and some other people aren't going to be there. Alex Walker, I don't think is going to be there. She's like, you know, it's all of a sudden that podium starts looking like a very realistic opportunity, and it'll be very hard for her to turn it away. So I'm with you. Even speaking with her, where she still said, she's like, I don't know. I think she's going to race.
She's going to tape it up and she's going to go.
Use Healy tape, or and she'll tape it up.
Yep.
And then the other one who I still am not sure on is Nicole Miracle.
Right.
And so her situation is very simply, I don't think she would be coming, but Spartan has told her in order to race Worlds, she needs to qualify. So that means this is really her only race to qualify for Worlds, so she has to come. So it comes down to, how bad does she want to go to Abu Dhabi?
So what does she have to do here to qualify?
I think it's just like top 20. It's not very much. She pretty much, if she hits the start line, I think she's going to be okay.
So as she's as a finish kind of thing.
Pretty much, yeah. And
could she not do the sprint?
No, because it has to be, to qualify for Worlds, it has to be in like a major championship race kind of deal.
Oh man.
So it is kind of one of those deals. And it's not, you know, I had heard her, and she said something along the lines of, she might, you know, she comes even walk the downhills and stuff like that. But the question becomes, and I think we talked about this before, so I'll ask you, Mik, should there be a champions provisional? And beyond that, since there's not right now, should Spartan institute one now or stick to the rule book as it is?
A provisional, like you can't go to championships without some certain standard.
Yeah. So should Spartan have instituted a, let's just say, past 3 years champions, world champions are eligible to go into the world championship this year without having hit a qualifying race?
So they get a bye.
Yes.
I think so.
You think so?
I think so.
But
I think at least put it up to an appeal.
I think, and I like written rules, so I think it should be written past 2 years champions are eligible for the race. And I think because once you're 3 years, I think that person could be starting to get kind of out of shape over 3 years and maybe not the same racer.
But is that still better? Is it still better for the championship if some good names coming back, even if they, like, what if you just said, oh, Cody Mote's coming to Abu Dhabi?
Right. I would say
Would
even longer
be
than 2 or 3 years.
Pretty excited about that. Yeah. Like,
so how
maybe
long? How long does it go?
All time.
All time,
Yeah.
really?
Show up when you're
Wow.
80. Yeah. And everyone would be pumped to see that person come out.
I'm rolling this through in my mind. I'm not sure, because that is
Could you imagine the excitement if like Hobie Call was like, I'm going to Abu Dhabi and I'm going to race my son?
Jesus. I don't like getting sold shit, but yeah, you're right.
I think the hype around like a past champion from like previous days who people like they aspired to be like, and now they get to race. I think the hype around that would just be so cool.
Like, it's not like at this point we're taking away spots for people that are qualifying. And we're basically just talking about maybe 10 individuals. So yeah, I say if you have a world championship Spartan title, you're allowed anytime.
And I think you hit the nail on the head there, and that pushes me over the edge and sells me, is that you're not taking away anybody else's spot.
Yeah.
That being the case, you're right. There's no harm in it. And so yeah, champions provisional, unlimited, whatever the case may be, that does make sense. Now, the part 2 of the question is, there currently is no champions provisional in the rule book.
So anyone can sign up and go.
Change rules last minute.
I know Spartan does that, but should they do that?
I'm pretty sure they're doing that just because they want as many people as they can get.
Yeah. Now, as far as I know, they have not changed the rule. They're telling her, because they told her you need to qualify.
Oh,
Well,
but there's not.
What if she just petitions?
Here's the thing. If you're petitioning or appealing Spartan's rule, you're appealing it to Spartan.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's, you know, that's like getting in an argument with your wife and then appealing to her on the decision. It's, you know, they kind of have their judgment. And then unless you have some kind of, and let's put it this way, we've all battled Spartan for their rules. Unless you have something concrete written down, it's hard to push them over the edge. So, and this is the worst part. And I feel like a jerk, but if it's not in the rules, you shouldn't let it slide. And then you fix it next year.
Well, that was like
That's
with John Albin, right? And he had
Yeah.
to go to somewhere to race just to do what he needed to do. So
That's when he was chasing $1 million. Yeah.
although I thought, like, wasn't World Championships you qualify for it if you're top 5 in some
Like regular series?
Yeah,
Yeah, but she's not. She hasn't raced all year.
right. But couldn't she just go to, like, are there more races in the States or something just to kind of?
Yeah, there's one in the States this weekend. Where is it? Dallas?
Yeah, it's like go jog like a
sprint.
like whatever and qualify.
See, I was under the impression that it had to be a major race, but that being said, and this becomes more of a reality of a thing, as much as I'd like to see Spartan stick to the rules, we all know that come time Abu Dhabi gets closer and they're low on entries, all of a sudden I'm gonna get an
Yeah,
email.
you qualified for World Championships.
Yeah, you're gonna get one. The art department's gonna get one. My dog, he's gonna get one. Everyone will get this email saying we're qualified, and it makes all of this a moot point, and that's the frustrating part. And I'm sure that that's in the back of Nicole's mind.
Right.
I think her situation though is so unique because it's not like she's not willing to race. She's just coming back from a very serious injury. So like, it's not, I know John Albin had to do it too, but like it was a different situation. Like he was able to race. He just had to go find one somewhere.
Mhm.
Whereas Nicole is kind of towing with the line of, should she physically even race right now? She thinks she'll be ready in December, but like she's not totally ready right now, but she still has to do this to appease the rules. It's kind of different.
It is, but when you start doing that and putting an intent and injured, not injured, it's a slippery slope because, as we all know, people are assholes and they fake shit. And not that Nicole is doing that. I have 100% belief in Nicole's injury. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying if you set precedents by doing that, you open the door to shady shit.
Right. But like, do you think though that an athlete is going to fake an injury an entire season and not race once?
No. But they could claim shit. But anyway, I'm just saying that's the slippery slope you go on, right? When you're talking rules got to be black and white. They got to be.
I think the
rules.
I do think the black and white. I do think the black and white rule though, Dave, is like top 10. I think elite or top something like in any race.
If it is, then that's great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And like I said, I hope she does. I want Nicole to come here. I want Nicole to be in Worlds because I want to see Nicole, Emma, and Lindsay battle all three together. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
So,
and hopefully she's like, in good fitness.
Yes. I want to see 100% Nicole battling those.
Yeah. Well, Abu Dhabi is probably not very technical, so that probably is better for someone just getting over the confidence of like a stable knee.
Yeah, but it was the sand coming off an obstacle that took her out.
That's true. Yeah.
If anything, there might be a little PTSD there.
Oh no. Okay. Fair enough.
I like I said, I hope that she gets there. I hope she comes to Blue, but that regardless, I hope more so that she does get to go to Worlds and does her thing, and that I just hope Spartan either whatever they do, they stick to their guns. They either say, okay, this is what we're going to do, we're going to allow it, and this is going to happen, this is why, and this is now going in the rule book, or they're not. But don't tell her no, or don't tell her this. Don't tell her you got to go to blue and race to qualify. And she goes through the hassle and goes through all that and risks injury and risks not being 100% for Worlds, and then all of a sudden start inviting everybody, right?
Yeah.
So it just, if it's one or the other, right, you can't be both. So I think at least we can all agree we're all pulling for her. We all want her to be at Worlds and 100% healthy and see her back at it. So yeah. So Nicole might be there. She might not. Good enough.
It's like spending a lot of time on someone that might not be there.
Might not be there. Okay.
It's
good
some
other ones that
good to understand.
Yeah, some other ones that probably are going to be there. Amanda Nadeau, Jessica Lemon. These are some local. Sherry Boyle. Elise Hewitt right now has not responded, so we're not sure about Elise Hewitt. But hopefully she'll make it too. Casey Monroe as well. But going to be there, we have some great ones. We got Amber Nielsen. We got Andy Doobie's going to be there. The Ashleys, Heller and O'Hara. One of our favorites, Cameron Tucker. I think, what is she, 16 now, 17?
Yeah. 16 or
her.
17.
I love her because she jumps in with the big girls and goes at it. I think that's great. Kayla Coble, Emma Cook Cook. Oh my God, Emma Cook Clark. The hell of a tongue twister. Who else we got in here? Lindsay's obviously going to be there. Miranda Kilpinski, Bethany McChesney.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so I mean, those are some of the names that jump out at me. Is there anyone else that jumps out at you that I'm not familiar with here, Beth?
No, those were kind of the big names that I had written down.
So other ones we're not seeing again, if I'm looking at the championship, we've got Rose Wetzel, Alex Walker, two big names not going to be there. Rhea Coble, like there's some good names that are in the championship. So pretty much this seems to come down to, again, I think Emma could still beat Lindsay on this, but she would have to beat her by a few spots. And I'm not sure that can happen.
Right.
I don't think, no.
Do you think, though, that Emma can beat Lindsay on this course?
Yes.
Yes. What about you, Mik?
I'd say 60-40 towards Lindsay.
All right, Beth, you say she can beat her. Why? What do you think she's got? Or why do you think it's capable for this course?
I just think Emma, she's just such a solid runner. And the last two times they've raced head to head, Emma has been ahead of Lindsay until she messes up an obstacle right near the finish. So I think, this time Emma, who's also been racing less than Lindsay, and I'm going to just say maybe has less tired race legs, just might have it in her mind that this is the time she doesn't mess it up and at the end, and she's going to take Lindsay. So I know it's Lindsay's previous training grounds and everything, but I mean, Emma up and down a mountain is just so solid, and she can just handle all the terrain. And this one will have some flat sections, I think, too. And I don't think that Lindsay could keep up with Emma if there's some flat sections that she can just open up.
And Mik, you're leaning toward Lindsay.
I am, just because, Rocky Mountains are a little different than these kind of mountains. And sometimes it takes you a little while to get used to that, like kind of grassy, not that I don't think Emma can downhill that. Also, Emma's so good at those like vertical Ks. So she has that like high tempo output uphill, and not just that like long extended climb speed. So I think she's going to be really good on these like shorter ones. But like I said, Lindsay will know exactly how to pace them. She'll know how long it takes her to get to the top. She'll know what kind of effort that doesn't like affect her later in the race, stuff like that. So yeah, and she's just coming off like sky running and everything like that. So obviously she did super well there, and she's in really good shape.
Would Emma have beat Lindsay at the sky running if she had went?
I don't know, because I don't know I don't know the other women well enough, like the other athletes that compete in that, in terms of their like overall
them
fitness.
too, just them two.
Yeah.
Well, Emma did beat her in the one in Alberta.
Yeah.
So I think Emma would beat Lindsay in the sky race. I think she just got the legs for it.
What's the first failable obstacle for Emma?
The wall.
Well, she's only really ever failed the rig, right?
Well, no, that's not necessarily true. She's failed a lot of stuff, but as of late, it's been
Yeah, like this season.
Where's the rig?
The rig is near the end.
At the end.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what we need for Emma is like, you need a rig or something hanging right near the start, and she needs to just get through it and get her confidence that she's, not hesitant on them, or kind of flows through it. And I think then she's going to be.
The only reason
okay.
she failed the rig in Kelowna was because she didn't know, or she grabbed the thick black part instead of grabbing above it. That's the only reason she failed the rig. So now that she knows you grab the strap above, I don't think, if this is the same rig, then she'll be fine.
But what if
It's
I
not
get there?
obviously
what if I get there in time and convince them that they're not allowed to grab above and actually make them enforce it?
Then we're all failing the rig.
Because
the thing about grabbing above is, you still have to do a very high locked off pull up to reach it.
Yeah.
So you still need that overall strength, and I think like some athletes can't quite. Plus, she's a little shorter. Like her reach isn't as far, so she's either going to have to swing up to that to get that hold, or you got to get your wrist kind of to armpit. Like you can't be hanging by your eyes, or else you're not going to be able to reach it. So it's having that move in your arsenal.
She probably spent more than 60 seconds on that rig in Kelowna.
Right.
Moving for that thing. Whereas at that point, in my mind, I was thinking, just drop off and go to the penalty. You got a better shot that way. But
yeah.
Mick's
I think she'll be okay if it's a nice weather day, and eventually she's gonna put them all together.
Yeah.
So here is the kicker. You ask for positioning right near the end, right on that final gauntlet. You have spear throw right after the multi-rig. So you have multi-rig, spear throw right beside it. So
I bet there's going to be a couple things in both. Well, maybe not the women's thing, but where someone makes it through the rig, throws the spear, misses, and then the next person's coming through the rig, and you're kind of knowing if you can get these two, you've got it. But that's two things you gotta think about.
The thing too, I think, and I don't know this for sure, I'm just looking them up, and I think those are going to be burpee penalties, because the area that they're in, I don't think they're going to set up a penalty loop there. I could be wrong, and if it is a penalty loop, you'll be able to see the whole thing, but they're going to.
So
I
don't totally know how to interpret this map, but on the failable obstacles, they're yellow though. So I think the ones where they have the failable obstacles with the yellow circles, I think those ones are penalty loops, and then the failable obstacles. See?
Yeah, right here. So penalty loops.
Yeah. So I think those ones are penalty loops, and then the ones so the rig and the spear are burpees, just based on that little legend.
You're right. Yeah, the rig and the spear, which I said are burpees. And that means, can Emma build a 6-minute lead? Let's call it 5 minutes.
She's bound to make one of those, I think, at this point, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think she can make a 6-minute. I don't think she can make a 6-minute gap on Lindsay.
I agree with you. She's bound to make one until I see her fail the multi-rig, and then I'm like, the spear is still as much of a crapshoot as it was before she got on that rig.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but that spear is the same crapshoot seemingly for all of them.
But Lindsay fails the spear sometimes too. Like you're kind of saying it could be one way or the other.
It could be. That's what I say. It's a crapshoot for everyone.
It's exciting to think about just overall. It's always nice to see what happens on race day.
Okay, so I'm going to say, I'll do my picks first. I am leaning towards Lindsay on this one. Um, I it's just very, very slightly, even though good weather makes me think, okay, that's Emma's chance. And I do think Emma will outrun, but I think I can see Emma failing at least one of those obstacles and Lindsay taking advantage of it. But if Emma gets through that, then yeah, I think if Emma goes clean, she takes it. But I don't think she'll go clean, which really pains me because I really like Emma. She's great.
Yeah, I think it'd be exciting for her if she gets through. I mean, it's going to happen.
Yeah. And then I'm calling Annie Doobie for third. So Lindsay, Emma, Annie. What do you think, Mick?
I'm going to echo that. I think you're spot on.
And now Bethany's back to the test. Does she stand by her conviction?
Yes, I do think Emma is going to take this one. And yeah, I think it'll be an exciting race regardless, but I think Emma's going to put it together this time. I have faith.
I think Annie will be closer than people think. I think she's going to be closer than a two-person race. Yeah. I think she'll be within one failed obstacle. So you never know.
There's also Miranda Kilpinski is having an amazing year too. She won, was it Killington? And so she's really fit too. So she could be in that mix also. But again, Annie's been proving herself this season also. So she'll probably take that final podium spot. But I bet Miranda is going to be in that mix too.
I think Miranda's been great, but I think over this distance and this much climb, I don't think she has the climbing legs to keep up with those three.
But Killington was a beast and it was a lot of climbing.
And she wasn't against Lindsay, Emma, and Annie.
No.
So yeah, it's not that she can't do it. She can do it. I just think that she's not quite to the level of those three.
No.
Not yet. Yeah. Maybe in the future. I mean, she's still fairly new, right? But
yeah, she is.
Yeah, but I think I'll stand by it. So do you think Annie or Miranda for third?
I think Annie will take third. Yeah.
All right. That's reasonable. It's really, but we're really rooting for Cameron Tucker.
Yes.
I would love to see. Could you imagine what that would just be the craziest? We'd have something to talk about forever. Good news.
What, she got herself in the top?
Yeah, could you imagine? That would be.
Oh my gosh.
Good news though, pipe layer is on course, so we're okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh man, maybe it'll be a penalty loop because I fail it.
You don't make pipe.
I'm sorry, it is a burpee obstacle.
Oh
man.
Beth, you're gonna lose a lot of sleep. That's okay.
Don't worry, there won't be a volunteer at it to make you.
Did Atkins fail at that one time? Should that really count as a fail? He did put his foot down before he hit the bell.
No.
Oh man. What else? So yeah, we have all the regular obstacles, all the good stuff. Yeah. And for the penalty loops, we have monkey bars on penalty loops, rope climb on penalty loop, Z-wall, Olympus. That could play into something. You know, the box, Tyrolean traverse, beater, vertical cargo, all with penalty loops. It's very interesting.
So vertical cargo then must be the table one.
Oh yeah, for the beast.
And the beast, yeah.
And there'll be no balls on the end of the chains for Olympus.
Right.
Yeah.
Bethany's short girl brain is going into overdrive here for the table.
I hate it. Wait, is Stairway to Sparta there? That's the worst one for short girls.
I'm gonna guess that it will be. Let me see. They had it last year, so I would be stunned if it wasn't. We got Overwall, 6-foot wall, Hercules, monkey bars, rope, Z-wall, inverted.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Stairway to Sparta. Yeah.
Man.
They actually have a farmer's carry in here.
Get out.
Like right after 1920, there's a farmer's carry. So is that going old school where they just put two chain handles on two logs and you carry it, or is
probably
or
is it sand-filled bags?
So they did use sand-filled bags at this race in 2017 when it was OCR Worlds.
Right.
But when in Duntroon, they always used the log. So the race, Duntroon was just outside of Blue Mountain, and they always had the chains on logs.
Yeah, but you're dealing with completely different ownership, and everything that
True.
that was owned there is gone.
Mhm.
But
Well, there's
Mike-
nothing. There's like a farmer's carry, then A-frame, then another carry, and an Atlas carry, and another vertical cargo. Like there's all the carries are kind of in a row. Then you have bucket right after that.
Oh,
If you look at this, I'm going to read the right after beater. It goes farmer carry, A-frame cargo, sandbag carry, Atlas carry,
ooh,
vertical cargo, hurdles, and then bucket carry. So a bunch of over obstacles that aren't going to affect anyone, and you're just carrying. So no one's going to get into any kind of running rhythm or anything. I just wonder if one of those is going to be long, hopefully.
yeah. And it's interesting. It says sandbag carry number 2, barbed wire crawl number 2. I guess they have them earlier too. Don't see. Yeah, 2 barbed wire crawls, 2 so
Yeah.
there's sandbag carry earlier. So there's 2 sandbag carries.
Yeah,
Wonder if Bear put one of them as a double. Now that would be interesting.
that would be
oh,
awesome.
no.
At least do it with the elites. Like just do it.
I would love to see some more good, solid, heavy
Yeah.
carries. They don't have to be long, like just short, heavy carries.
A heavy one that's uphill would be great.
Yeah, like the old school Tahoe.
Yeah, where like you contemplate putting it down, like that kind of one.
Just
That'd be great.
compresses where Bethany's 4'10" at the end of it.
Yeah. Oh,
Anyway, it's gonna be a great race. It's gonna be very interesting.
It will be.
Go ahead, Mick.
Live feed.
Live feed through OCR Report.
Okay.
Yep. So it's should be good. They have done some good stuff lately. They've actually had some very good signal, which has been nice. And Blue Mountain, when I recall from last year, when we were doing our stories, we had no issues with signal, did we, Beth?
no, it was great there.
I think this might be
That's
actually a
good.
chance for them to put out one of their best products yet.
Awesome.
And from my understanding, they do have like 8 rabbits set up. So
That's
hopefully
great. Yeah.
they'll get a really good one out of it, and we'll be able to watch a good race because Blue deserves it. We want to.
The good thing is if you have 2 or 3 people at the base of the mountain, they can just keep pivoting over to the next section that they're going to come down to. So then you just need a couple people to follow them up. But
Yeah, you need like a couple of fast people that can stick with the
Yeah.
male and female leader, and then you need
Yeah.
other cameras scattered around where they
Mhm.
can go through like cover sections.
good. It is pretty cool to see, the battle between 3rd to 10th at
Yeah.
some points, even if it's just watching them all come through the obstacles. Just try and see that's interesting.
Well, it does look like the one thing with a lot of the, let's just call them failable obstacles near the end there, it will definitely be easy to cover, and you should see a lot of action there. I mean, I think they'll be able to do a good job. Hope so.
Yep. Yeah. It's exciting.
It looks like pretty much the same start area as last time over on the east side, similar kids course. So there you go.
And fun fact, Blue Mountain doesn't allow Spartan to dig. So there will be no rolling mud. There will be no water. There is a rock fountain they could put them through, like a aesthetic rock fountain.
That would be right down. So that's right down in this area here.
Yeah.
Right by 11.
It's like get your ankles wet, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think
That's another thing. There's gonna be no mud or wet unless the course is mucky from days before.
so. It looks like Twister and Olympus are going to be in the exact same spot as last year.
Nice.
Okay.
So, and then one right after the other as well. You'll come down and you'll hit Olympus, and then you'll hit Twister right away. That'll be cool. That'll be good to watch. That's right in the village center. That's right by your little rock feature there. There'll be a lot of people watching there. It's been a great weekend.
Yeah.
So final thoughts, Mik? Anything other than FOMO?
I don't know. I kind of want to see those oven mitts on the live feed on Sunday. That's what I'm looking forward to.
There will definitely be video of the oven mitt open. I don't know if it will be live, but there will be video of the oven mitt open, and I can assure you, I will be running at a blazing pace. Nope.
Yeah. I wonder if, like, because oven mitts are like insulated and stuff, if your timing chip on your wrist is gonna like not register.
Throw it up higher. I'll put it around the elbow or something to make sure. I don't really care anyway. Honestly,
it's your A race.
This is my A race. Mik has been preparing me for the oven mitt open all year. It's been a hard, grueling adventure. It should be fun. It should be good fun. Beth, how are you feeling going in? Because this is. I know it's not an A race for you, but this is still a big race, and it's a lot of eyes.
Yeah, like this one's I like this one because it's close to home. So there'll be some friends there. My kids will be there. I was saying to Mik too before, it's been a bit of a long season, and it's a lot of these long races, which for a season coming back where I didn't really have any mileage or base coming into it, it's been a bit tough. And these long races really take a lot out of me. But this one, I probably wouldn't race it if it wasn't so close to home. Just another beast. But yeah, this is my last OCR of the season, so I'm excited. I still feel good. Injuries are under control, so that's always a bonus for me going into a big race. So I'm excited to close out my season, my OCR season here at a home ground race.
Should this have been a super? Beth says yeah.
For the series, like as like a
yeah.
I mean, it would be kind of cool leading into Abu Dhabi.
But Abu Dhabi is a super too, which is different. But
right.
I'm just I don't know. I mean, I think that for me, it's better entertainment value if it's super. We take away all this long running, doing nothing. Nobody cares. Move some of these obstacles over here.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a great weekend. Really looking forward to it. Again, OCR Report will have live streaming, so check them out. And Bethany will definitely be on site racing. I will be on site doing some stories and some interviews and some whatever else I can do and running with oven mitts. So Beth, take us home.
Yeah, thanks so much, Mik, for joining us today. And if you're around this weekend at Blue Mountain, we hope you have a fantastic race and come by and say hi at some point. We'd be happy to meet you or chat with you again.